Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a more entry-level Ineos Grenadier, and I think you guys will be shocked at just how affordable it is to get into one of these. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Warner Ineos here in West Valley, Utah for giving me some time with this Grenadier. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Corey. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. So under the hood we have a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 282 horsepower and then 332 pound-feet of torque, and fuel economy in the real world, at least what I've been getting with my Grenadier, is over 17 miles per gallon, even though the EPA rates it at 15. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So I picked out this particular one because this bright blue looks absolutely fantastic. It looks a little bit more whitewashed on camera than it does in person, so this is a color you definitely have to see in person. Pictures and video just won't do it justice. Now, popping down below, really cool with the headlights, and then you got the off-road lights in the center. You can see you've got parking sensors, and this is a real off-road bumper. Got skid plates underneath as well. But yeah, again, even though this is a quote-unquote base model, rather, it still looks really cool. So around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 17 in the front and over in the rear. And this one has the steel wheels, which I think look super cool with the Grenadier. Now, you can actually fit 33s on stock suspension. That's something that I learned today. And we've got a solid front axle with the Grenadier. The only other vehicle that has that is a Jeep Wrangler. Big chunky fender flare, you can see the flag there on the side. And then being a base model, you don't have the utility belt, but it still looks cool with the trim there. And then here's your full side profile. I mean, look at the stance on this. It looks great. And of course, this leads us to the key fob. So it's this very chunky, like high quality feeling key. Flip out key with it. You've got your lock and unlock function. And popping into the rear, you've got the one door, and then you have the secondary door if you need to get really big items into the cargo area. And again, still have the nice flooring here that is durable, easy to clean. You can see the little outlet there as well. And then you've got some tie down points if you want to use that. And this is really easy to close, by the way, the hatch. Super easy to get into place. And then I love the actuation on this. It just feels so solid. You've got the cool circular tail lights, and then you can see with the recovery points there at the bottom. And then you got the spare tire here on the back. And from what I understand, you can fit a 33 on the back without having to move anything. There is a relocation bracket if you want to fit a bigger tire, but yeah, 33 with stock stuff. Now take a look at the door panel, super tight fit and finish. You've got like soft touch here at the top, you've got this mesh down below, and then more soft touch with the stitching. And then look at these seats, Recaro seats. You've got, again, the mesh there. Now, one thing about the Grenadier is it is high, so you do have to kind of like step up to get into it. But once you're in here, legroom's good. Again, look at these floors, super easy to clean. You get vents for the back, see the USB ports there. And these seats, really comfortable. And then you've got good headroom because of that boxy design. Now take a look at the front door panel, same design with soft touch and the mesh and all that. You can see all the window controls right here. Door lock and unlock, your mirror adjustments. Quick look at the mirrors themselves. And the payload on the Grenadier is pretty impressive. 1,548 pounds, that's like truck levels of payload. It is a truck. You can see it again with the front seats here. Manually adjustable. And then you got the vent and the nice soft touch on the dash. And yes, we got to do one of these. Flip out the key, and the ignition's all the way there behind it. There we go. Do you have to have a foot on the brake too? Yeah. Now take a look at the steering wheel. We of course have the toot function, which is always fun. Cruise control on the other side. But yeah, really nice trim. This is a Napa leather steering wheel. It's the standard feature. And then you've got traditional stalks behind it. And then this is basically just your warning little cluster. You can see we've got a backup camera in reverse, and then this is basically your gauge cluster here on that part of the screen, and then you've got a regular infotainment system. The off-road stuff I think is pretty cool. It takes a second for it to load up, but if you just go to the statistics, this is where you'll be able to see, you know, like what you're currently getting with MPG and, you know, altitude and all that kind of stuff. I think it's pretty cool overall. And then this one actually comes with the compass. And then down below we've got our heated seats with this, and you can see all of our climate controls as well. And I just think it's so cool with all the physical buttons. You've got auto stop start that you can turn off, by the way. Got the little BMW shifter, a little bit out of place, but who cares. Parking brake, again, nice high quality material. And then this is the drive line select. So you still get a 2-speed transfer case with a center locking diff, even in the entry level. And then this is just analog controls for the infotainment system. Some cup holders, and then center console. Nice trim on the top. And then you got this sturdy grab handle there. And then with the glove box, yeah, pretty good storage. And then we have a manual mirror dimmer. Now this does still come with switches if you want to add some auxiliary items to the Grenadier. And then we do still get the off-road and the waiting mode with this. No lockers with this entry-level version, but that's an easy package to add. Obviously increases the price a little bit. But you still get hill descent control, you still got the stability control as well. And so you still get this cool kind of like airplane cockpit feel. And this leads us to the price. We'll talk about this more with the driving, but there's your total MSRP on this, $76,030. Let's drive it. Always a fun. Well, let's set off in this Grenadier. I guess I'll show you guys visibility, even though I've already reviewed the Grenadier a few times. The back, it's not bad when you turn your head, but through the rear view mirror, it's not necessarily the best visibility on the planet. So, this is not a true base model, because a true base model would sticker for, let's see, 71,500 plus destination. So, true base model would be 73,000 bucks roughly. So this is 3,000 bucks more, but you have stuff like heated seats, for example, added to this that do increase the price a little bit. And I think that they're options that are worth it, in my personal opinion. But in terms of how this drives, there is no difference in the drive with this versus an $80,000 or a $90,000 Grenadier. The only difference you might get is if you get the roof rack, right, you're gonna have some wind noise with that. And then the all-terrain tires, obviously those are going to be better off-road, but in terms of your on-road driving, which is kind of what this little video is going to be about, there's not really a major difference with that, and we'll see that in just a moment. So finally getting up onto the road. Same engine as all the other Grenadiers, so you've got that same acceleration feel. And the ride quality, like everything's the same. So now that we've solidified that this drives just like every other Grenadier, so you're not missing out in terms of driving, let's talk about why you might want to get a more expensive Grenadier. And what it comes down to is off-road. If you actually are going to take this off-road, all of the add-ons you get for the Grenadier, for the most part, increase the capability or usability off-road. So like the extra power you can get, right? The locking differentials, the more aggressive tires, the raised air intake, the roof rack, all of that stuff is off-road equipment, which is great if you're actually going to take it off-road. But if you're not going to take it off-road, then there's no sense in spending the money. The only option that I'd say that is, there's two options that are not really off-road related. The Safari windows, right, that's just like if you want those, and then the leather seats, right, that's just if you want the fancier seats. These cloth seats are fine. They're still Recaro seats at the end of the day, so not a problem with that. And now let's talk about this compared to other vehicles. So if you get a Wrangler or a Bronco at this price point, you're going to get something that has 35-inch tall tires and is going to have locking diffs. So yes, it's going to be more capable off-road. The trade-off that you're making with this is, I definitely prefer this engine to anything that's in the Wrangler or the Bronco. Even Ford's, you know, turbo V6, it's a solid engine. It's not the B58 from BMW. Again, research this engine and you'll understand. So you do get more off-road capability with those at a similar price point, but you also concede, I would say, build quality. Those aren't as well built as this. They aren't as well insulated. This, you have got some road noise, but you don't have nearly as much wind noise as those. And So it's just, this feels like a more high quality vehicle. Like this is a vehicle that I feel like I could wear a suit in it, whereas like a Wrangler or Bronco, it's, you know, it's not that type of vehicle, if that makes sense. Okay, and then you've got like Lexus, the new GX, the new Land Cruiser, the Land Rover Defender, and at this price point, right, you're getting like a pretty base model Defender. You're getting a loaded up Land Cruiser, and then you're getting a middle of the line Lexus, still a nice GX, but kind of more middle of the line GX. And those are going to have more luxury, but they're not going to be as rugged, as off-road capable, and still build quality. This just wins out of any of them in terms of build quality. The closest I would say is Land Rover, but the problem with Land Rovers is they feel really well built right out of the box, but then once you get a few thousand miles on them, then stuff starts to come loose and some stuff starts to creak, and so then you're like, it was fake build quality. Is this person not going to go? Okay, that was weird. So that's kind of my take. I think that if you're just looking for a cool, boxy off-road vehicle and you don't plan on doing any off-roading, get one of these, put 33-inch tall tires on it. It will look fantastic. You still get good fuel economy. Again, with 33s, people are getting 17 miles per gallon in these. So good fuel economy, cool looks. And if you do decide to take it off-road, I mean, this is still a solid front and rear axle body on frame SUV. It's still got a center locking diff. So it's still going to be able to crawl up quite a bit. But let me know what you guys think about the entry-level Grenadier, but I think this is a home run.